What's up, my fellow tradies? It is Andrew Houston here, Tradie Tips in the Truck. I'm super pumped to bring this to you guys. Profit Contractors, we're all about helping you guys, the owners of contracting companies, kick some serious ass in making more profits and getting those profits to pay for your freedom, getting those profits to help you be able to, afford systems to, give you more control and more wealth. And so today I gotta talk to you about, it's Friday and I'm just super pumped about bringing this to you. We gotta talk about how we maximize our profits, man, during the hay season, during the busiest time. Hey, Liam, how's it going, brother? So, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of key things, and for all of our PFC family out there, guys, if you're not doing this already, go to the membership site and check out these babies, because you gotta put this into play. And if you are using them, for those PFC family members out there, tweak them, use them, maximize them. All right, I call it do it, review it, okay, and improve it. So for everybody else out there, you gotta look at simplicity as genius. So what I'm about to tell you right now, you can put into place. Seriously, if you can do this today and go out and get these things, if you can go and put them up on the wall over the weekend, I guarantee you it's going to make you more profits. It's going to give you more control. It's going to give you more freedom. It's going to get so much shit out of your head and in front of you and in front of your team. So here we go. Here it comes. Ready? Remember I said simplicity is genius? Yeah, well, I really believe that's true. Because you see, if you can use things that are simple, if you can use things that are so simple that, somebody young, like a 14-year-old, could run them, then guess what? There's no excuses. If you can especially use things that don't involve technology, I'm not saying that technology isn't good. Technology is freaking awesome, okay? But when we can get away from technology and go back to the basics of using something that is, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, being that you can touch it, that is going to get your brain to the next level. Okay, so here's what we got to do right now, right in this moment. Okay, it's shortly after 8 for me. Just finished coming out of the gym here, running a little bit late. But anyways, with that being said, you got jobs that are running right now. You had jobs that are running yesterday, this week, last week, the week before. And so one of the major things that we lack is getting out of our heads what the hell is going on as far as the work, let's call it workflow. That means the work that we've actually been awarded, that we're doing, that we got to get done, that's in progress, that's finished, right? That's a lot, right? I use this analogy that, too many times we expect too much of ourselves and we expect too much of our team members, especially from the perspective of trying to remember it all, okay? So you've got to use what we call profit contractors, called the Progress to Profit Board. And the Progress to Profit Board is not what you guys would think as being a job board. A job board is a list of, here's all the jobs we've got. And for most contractors, they're lucky to even have a job board. The Progress to Profit Board is all about progressing to profit. And to progress to profit, man, you've got to have a whiteboard that's up there on the jobs that you've got, okay? And on that whiteboard, again, we've got a template called the Progress to Profit board. If you guys are interested in it, we'll put it into our groups, into the Contractor Tips group and the Champion CEO group, just to refresh everybody's memory here. So if those of you that are not in the Contractor Tips group, that's like a free group to give you guys tips and insights and tricks. And for the Champion CEOs out there, that are part of Profit Contractors, you guys know who you are. You guys are rock stars. Anyways, I'll put the tool in there, get my team to put the tool in both those areas. But here is in essence, okay, and in that Progress to Profit tool, it lays out all the steps for you to put this into play. I mean, seriously, step by step, the rules, who needs to be involved, when you got to do it, all that kind of stuff. But it's a bloody whiteboard, okay? So number one, you got to go out and get one whiteboard. Actually, you got to get 2 whiteboards. I'll tell you what the second whiteboard is in a second. But the first whiteboard is that Progress to Profit board. So on that, I'm just going to give you some of the key items that you need to put up there. You need the list, obviously, what the jobs are, okay? You need then you want to list whatever, if you've got certain numerical systems, if you don't, then you need to have something along those lines. Whatever your filing system is, you want to have a column that identifies, hey, where is that file? Okay, what is the file associated with that? As a matter of fact, a freaking amazing trick that you want to do is you want to put the files associated with those projects, right? The projects that are running, that are progressing the profit. Okay, because either your jobs are progressing the profit or they're progressing the frickin' making you lose money. And if that's the case, then you got probably profitable jobs paying for non-profitable jobs, and we got to frickin' stop that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to stop that and how to get on that right away. Okay, so let's continue. So you want to put some of the files down below. Go get some of these plastic holders. Super simple. And that way, when you're looking at the job board, the progress the profit board, so you got you there. When you're looking at the progress the profit board, and you want to look up something, or you want to look at some additional detail, you can just go and grab the file and it's right there, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, so the progress of profit board also needs to have a couple of other critical items on it. Now, there's a bunch of other things on it that you want to include, but here's a couple of key ones. You want to have the different phases, and the different phases indicate the different stages of your jobs. Now, guys, you know it, I know it as a fellow tradie. Okay, Liam, he knows it. We all know it. Liam is a fellow tradie. Knows that there's different phases of your job. Okay, so if I'm running an electrical contracting company and I do residential work, say it's a custom home, you know that there's the 200 amp service, there's the rough-in, there's the finishing, right? Those are like 3 core phases. You want to be tracking those 3 phases against what was quoted so that you know if things are on track or off track, okay, at each one of those phases. So a simple column you want to have on that whiteboard, super simple, is the phases. Now here's the magic, here's the trick, another trick. You just don't want to put the phases in one color. The phases should be in either a color of being red, yellow, or green, okay? Now, what do you think red is? Yeah, that's right. Think about it for a second. What's red? What do you think that means? It means it's freaking in trouble. It means it needs attention. If it's yellow, it means it's what? It's falling off the rails. It's going off the trail, off the path of profitability. And we got to get those back on. If it's green, freaking that's awesome. Ideally, we want to have a whole progressive profit board that's green with the phases, right? So that we're like, hey man, we know the green is what? Gringo, money, right? Profits, okay? Progress to profits. So that's a really important column. Okay, so at a glance, you can walk in. I could have an 8, 9-year-old kid come walking in, right? Within 5 minutes, I could explain it to them. I know I use the age of 14. That's because my son is 14. But seriously, you can have an 8 or 9-year-old kid come in on this, look at the board, and within an instant, you tell them, hey, if something is red, it's a problem. If something is yellow, it means it's not going so good. And if something is green, it's good. Hey, Johnny, hey, Sarah, do you understand? Yeah, okay, let me show you this board. Within a snap, they can go, hey, that job or that thing up there is red. That's a problem. So you want to be able to look at things at a glance, right? You want to get information at a glance, and you want to make yourself turn into a bit of a genius, right? And to be able to see things, not just you, your team, to be able to see things that you need to see at a glance so that you can react to them, so that you can change those reds into yellow, change the yellows into greens. Now, we know that right now is probably the busiest season for you guys, so it's the most critical time for you to be putting this board up, okay? The other column I want to talk about, now there's a bunch of other ones, so you definitely want to take a look at the template. You want to download the Progress the Profit tool, okay? For all you guys, listen, I've put in hundreds of hours, and so has my team, creating these things. You might look at it and go, man, that's really simple. That's really easy. Like, wow, thanks, man. That's okay. No, just a second. It took tons of time, our time, other contractors' time to test and measure these things to make sure that they work. So if you're not using it effectively, Progress the Profit board or have one up, you got to get one up right away. So that's the one board. And the last little column is what? Invoicing. Yes, invoicing. You want to make sure that at the different phases, dependent upon if you're doing progress billing or it's at the end of the phase to invoice, that you are invoicing all the time. So at a glance, you can look at something. Again, back to the 8, 9-year-old. Hey, if there's 3 phases to these jobs. Okay, anything that says phase 3 means that we need to start asking for money. We need to start putting together an invoice. So the little boy or girl looks up and goes, well, there's a bunch of phase 3s. Why is there no invoice number beside them? Well, that's because they haven't been invoiced. Guys, simple. right? Simplicity is genius. So I'm going to go really quickly with the other board. The other board, I'm going to go in a little more detail in another video, but we got to have what feeds the progressive profit board, which is the sales board. Okay, let's call it sales to profit board. Okay, actually, I love that. I just came up with that. Sales to profit board, right? That's a really, I like that. So sales to profit board and the progressive profit board. Bam. So what we want to do with the sales board is we want to identify all the opportunities that we have, right? How many times have you, like, you're driving down the road, you know, whether it's, you know, or worse yet, you get up to go for a pee right in the middle of the night, and let alone the progressive profit board, you're like, oh my God, I think I got to go out and see this job site. Oh, I wonder where this job is at. I wonder where that job is at. Oh, I forgot about ordering material for this, or I forgot the invoice for this. Then we add to that, that's the progressive profit board. Then we add to that the sales to profit board. And guess what? We start dropping balls. We start forgetting to follow up with people. We forget to, you know, keep on top of our quotes, and we don't know what's involved. So then we just are keeping all this in our head. Now here's the thing, guys. I've said this before in some other videos. If I gave you a list of 10 things right now, you know, if I told you 10 things right now to go to the grocery store, and I told you you're not allowed to write them down, okay? You're not allowed to share them with anybody. And I told them to you, and I've done this test in front of big groups before. You won't get the answers right if I ask you, what's number 7? What's number 6? Or if I say, hey, which one was eggs? You might get 1 or 2 right, but out of 10, the average that people get out of 10 is like maybe 2 out of 10, okay? That's a goddamn list going to a grocery store, right? Let alone running a contracting company with a whole whack of projects that we're running right now that we don't even know if they're on or off track, let alone not having a sales board to get, you know, clarity of what we have as far as, you know, how many quotes we've got and things of that nature. So tomorrow morning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leverage today's video, and I'm going to talk about how to take the progressive profit board. I'm going to talk about how to put the sales board and put the two together to seriously how to filter out freaking Class D clients and how to, you know, and how to land more Class A clients. I'm going to give you one little tip on it right now. One of the simplest things is that when you start listing out all these opportunities you have the effect that is called, what I call, okay, is the basically, you know, the deck of cards effect. The deck of cards effect is this. And it applies to actually the progressive profit board as well, but let's just talk about sales, okay? The deck of cards effect is like this. If I only give you one card at a time, if I give you one card, and then you have to make a decision based upon just having one card in your hand, well, you only got one card. So how much insight do you have, right? I mean, seriously, if I gave you one card, you know, if instead of playing blackjack, instead of playing poker, we're playing blackjack, and I'm just giving you one card, you know, say we're doing 21 or something like that, you've got limited information to make limited decisions, right? So if I hand you, you know, a jack or a 10, you might like, I'm going to stay with the jack. But if we put in front of us, hey, here's 5 cards, here's 10 cards to pick from, guess what you get to do? You get to pick the aces. You get to pick the queens. You get to pick the kings. You get to pick the most impactful cards, right, that are in your hand. Guys, this is the same thing when it comes to the sales board. Okay, when you look at that sales board, you're able to go, whoa, 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 whoa. Look at all the opportunities we've got here. Look, I don't have time to be quoting the 2s, the 5s, the 6, and the 10s. I'm just going to focus in on the aces, kings, queens, and jacks face cards. Okay, that's where the money's at. Those are my Class A opportunities. Those are my Class A clients potentially, or Class A prospects. Guys, we got to get this shit out of our heads. This is the most critical time of the year to be doing this. I mean, you need to be doing this all year long, but right now is the busiest time for you guys. Just these 2 whiteboards alone, I swear to God, will increase your profits, bottom line profits, at least by 2 to 5%. Okay, I swear to God, it will, you know, help you land more Class A clients. It will help you get rid of Class D clients. I mean, think about the cost of not having this ability to make these decisions. Now, and here's the gold. I know this is a bit of a long, insights, trading tips in the truck. But guys, I'm doing this because I love you, right? I'm doing this because I really want you to prevent the fucking chaos that is feeding your business and you don't even know it. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you got anxiety, if you wake up in the middle of the night or just throughout the day and you just can't stop thinking and your brain's jumping all over the place, part of the reason of that is like your brain's like a bloody bag of popcorn going off, right? You got people coming at you at all different angles. You can't think straight. You can't be focused, and a lot of the reason for that is because you got too much stuff in your head and you're not able to share it. Share it with yourself, share it with your team. These whiteboards are like probably one of the dozens and dozens of tips and tricks that and principles that we teach abroad for contractors with their clients, because it has an immediate effect. Okay, you can't turn off a whiteboard. You can't tell me that you can't understand the technology. Okay, it's a bunch of markers, different colors. It's a whiteboard. Okay, one of the whiteboards costs you less than 3 or 4 cases of beer. Okay, maybe a few cases of beer. Okay, and anybody can understand it and see it. You can't run away from it. Okay, and if somebody says to me, yeah, but Andrew, what happens when I'm on the road? Okay, well, here's the last little tip. Okay, because I've covered off enough today. Is this? Okay, and when I say covered off enough, I've covered off enough so that you can take action on it, because I don't want to overload you more. Okay, I want to give you the ability to say, hey, you got this weekend. Let's get these freaking boards up. Let's get this shit out of our head so that come this Monday coming up, man, we know what's on the plate. We know what's in the pipeline, right? We know what's there for lead flow, deal flow, workflow, and i.e. gives us business flow. Okay, so guys, that's the trading tips in the truck. I thought I'd give you a little bit of extra today on Friday. I'm just super jacked about this because we've been talking with a lot of great new PFC family members. Love you guys to death, and this is one of the steps that we apply in when we bring on a new client, and it is one of the most impactful things that we see. Again, there's hundreds of them, but again, getting stuff out of your head and in front of your team is the most important thing, and it also allows people to help you, right? If people don't know where they can help you, well, then how the hell can they help you? And if you don't share the things that you need to share so that people can see what they need to see what you see, and maybe see what you don't see, then they're not going to be able to help you, to maximize results. So, guys, this applies to every single one of you, okay? Every single one of you. So if you've got questions regarding this, put it down below. If you want to get the Progress to Profit board, instruction sheet, step-by-step, super simple, lays it out for you, shows you a template at the end. They go, here's what the whiteboard should look like, here's what should be included in it, here's how you use it, here's the rules of the game, here's what you shouldn't do, and here's how you make it more effective. There's a couple of actual examples of people roughing the board, and then how the board's evolved, which is all about, do it, review it, improve it. All right, guys? All right, so love it to hear your comments down below. For those that are using Progress to Profit board and the sales board, any of the family members out there, anybody out in the community that's using it, I'd love for you to just comment below, how it's helped you, and the impact it's had. Anything tangible on the aspects of like, man, it's increased my profits by this much. It's helped me land this many more clients. It's helped me get rid of these many Class D clients. It's probably put this much revenue. We've got people in our group that these boards literally have made them hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not shitting you guys. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? But just think about how much one client is worth to you. One Class A client. Imagine landing 3, 4, 5 of those because you're able to make sure that you got this stuff out of your head, and then when it comes to running jobs, imagine being able to run jobs another 5-10% more efficient, more effective. I mean, not just for you, but for your clients, for your team, and for your business, right? And let's bring it back to on the personal side, okay? This is one last little piece. You deserve it, right? Your family deserves it that you do these boards. And you might be like, what? What the hell's that got to do with family? I mean, Andrew, you've been talking about business here the whole time. It's got a shitload to do with family. If you do this today, just think about it. If you were able to do it today, you would go into the weekend fucking like, oh my God, I got this stuff out of my head. You'd probably go into the weekend a hell of a lot more confident, more excited, more clear. And that brings that energy back to your family. Now, when you go to your family and you're stressed out and you're not present, You know, I remember what that was like, you know, like I'm sitting there with my wife eating dinner with my kids, and I'm not there. You know, I'm like constantly going, pardon? What'd you say? What was that? You know, because I'm not present. I mean, she's talking to me, but she might as well be talking to literally a whiteboard, pardon the pun, because I just couldn't stop thinking about the business and the stress of it and worrying about I was going to miss something, you know, because I knew I was missing shit, right? Because I had too much of it in my head. And that brought, you know, the stress back to my kids. When I was playing with my kids, you know, little tiny things, you know, oh man, you know, it's tough remembering some of this stuff, but little tiny things that shouldn't have set me off would totally set me off. And I'd get pissed off and I'd get irritated and I'd snap at people and I was just always on edge, you know. It's not easy, man, running a business. And, you know, when we look at how our business affects our personal life, I'm hoping that this is resonating with you and it's making you go, I gotta fucking do this. You know, I gotta do this for me. I do this for my family. I do this for the business, so that I can get excited about it. I can get clear about it. I can ask for help about it, and that way, when you're with your kids and your family, you can be that much more present. And you know, same thing with your employees and your team and your clients, right? Be more present. So that's it, guys. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you on the flip side. This is a bit of insight training. Gone a little bit over on the time, but fucking, I don't care. Hopefully you guys are getting some value. Love to hear what you got out of this. If you're not in the Contractor Tips group, get into it. If you're part of our Champion CEO community, fucking rock and roll, guys. Love you to death, and have yourself a great weekend. And we'll take this to the next level tomorrow. Catch you later.